Hello, thank you for joining with me. This is the reading for the Course Companions group. We are in Chapter 8, The Undivided Will to Heal, Section 5, The Treasure of God. If you will please close your eyes and join me in prayer. Dear Father, if left to my own devices, my perception will be skewed. I surrender to you everything that I think and feel. God, please take my past, plan my future, send your Spirit to redeem my mind that I might be set free. May I be your channel, God, and serve the world. May I become who you would have me be, do what you would have me do, go where you would have me go, and say what you would have me say, and to whom, dear God. Thank you for my many, many blessings. This is for day 122, Section 5, The Treasure of God. Forget not the kingdom of God for anything the world has to offer. The world can add nothing to the power and the glory of God and his holy sons, but it can blind the sons to the Father if they behold it. You cannot behold the world and know God. Only one is true. I come to tell you that the choice of which is true is not yours. If it were, you would have destroyed yourself. But God did not will the destruction of his creations, having created them for eternity. His will has saved you, not from yourself, but from your illusions of yourself. He has saved you for yourself. Let us glorify him whom the world denies, for over his kingdom it has no power. No one created by God can find joy in anything except the eternal. That is not because he is deprived of anything else, but because nothing else is worthy of him. What God and his sons create is eternal, and in this and this only is their joy. Listen to the story of the prodigal son and learn what God's treasure is and yours. This son of a loving father left his home and thought he squandered everything for nothing of any value, though he did not know its worthlessness at the time. He was ashamed to return to his father because he thought he had hurt him. But when he came home, the father welcomed him with joy, because only the son himself was his father's treasure. He wanted nothing else. 28, Luke 15:11 through 32. Jesus here does not retell the story as such, but retells it from a psychological angle, explaining the inner side of the story. He thus draws out elements which are only implicit in the original, such as the son thinking he had hurt the father, and the father regarding the son rather than his earthly fortune as his treasure. God wants only his son because his son is his only treasure. You want your creations as he wants his. Your creations are your gift to the Holy Trinity, created in gratitude for your creation. They do not leave you any more than you have left your Creator, but they extend your creation as God extended himself to you. Can the creations of God himself take joy in what is not real? And what is real except the creations of God and those which are created like his? Your creations love you as your spirit loves your Father for the gift of creation. There is no other gift that is eternal, and therefore there is no other gift that is true. How then can you accept anything else or give anything else and expect joy in return? And what else but joy would you want? You made neither yourself nor your function. You have made only the decision to be unworthy of both. But you could not make yourself unworthy because you are the treasure of God. What he values is valuable. There can be no question of its worth because its value lies in God sharing himself with it and establishing its value forever. Your function is to add to God's treasure by creating yours. His will to you is His will for you. He would not withhold creation from you because His joy is in it. You cannot find joy except as He does. His joy lay in creating you, and He extends His fatherhood to you so that you can extend yourself as He did. You do not understand this because you do not understand Him. No one who does not know His function can understand it, and no one can know His function unless he knows who He is. Creation is the will of God. His will created you to create. Your will was not created separate from His, and so it wills as He wills. An unwilling will does not mean anything because it is a contradiction in terms which actually leaves nothing. You can make yourself powerless only in a way that has no meaning at all. When you think you are unwilling to will with God, you are not thinking. God's will is thought. It cannot be contradicted by thought. God does not contradict Himself, and His sons who are like Him cannot contradict themselves or Him. But their thought is so powerful that they can even imprison the mind of God's Son if they so choose. This choice does make the Son's function unknown to Him, but never to His Creator. And because it is not unknown to His Creator, it is forever knowable to Him. There is no question but one you should ever ask of yourself. Do I want to know my Father's will for me? He will not hide it. He has revealed it to me because I asked it of Him and learned of what He had already given. Our function is to function together because apart from each other we cannot function at all. The whole power of God's Son lies in all of us, but not in any of us alone. God would not have us be alone because He does not will to be alone. That is why He created His Son and gave Him the power to create with Him. Our creations are as holy as we are, and we are the sons of God Himself, and therefore as holy as He is. Through our creations we extend our love and thus increase the joy of the Holy Trinity. You do not understand this for a very simple reason. You who are God's own treasure do not regard yourself as valuable. Given this belief, you cannot understand anything. I share with God the knowledge of the value He puts upon you. My devotion to you is of Him being born of my knowledge of myself and Him. We cannot be separated. Whom God has joined cannot be separated, and God has joined all His sons with Himself. Footnote 29. Matthew 19:6. And what therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. This line, of course, is typically used in weddings. The above allusion makes the point that in this marriage, the one between God and all His sons, divorce is impossible. Can you be separated from your life and your being? The journey to God is merely the reawakening of the knowledge of where you are always and what you are forever. It is a journey without distance to a goal that has never been changed. Truth can only be experienced. It cannot be described, and it cannot be explained. I can make you aware of the conditions of truth, but the experience is of God. Together we can meet its conditions, but truth will dawn upon you of itself. What God has willed for you is yours. He has given His will to His treasure, whose treasure it is. 30. Footnote 30. Pronoun and term clarification. He has given His will to his treasure, you, whose treasure it, his will, is. In other words, you are God's treasure, and his will, which he has given you, is your treasure. Your heart lies where your treasure is, as his does. 31. Matthew 6:21 and Luke 12:34. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The Course is applying this also to God. His heart lies where his treasure is, and you are his treasure. Your heart lies where your treasure is, as his does. You who are beloved of God are wholly blessed. Learn this of me, and free the holy will of all those who are blessed as we are. And I will read Robert Perry's notes in just a moment. Thank you for joining with me. This is the commentary from Robert Perry out of the Course Companions for day 122. Section 5, The Treasure of God. For 2,000 years, people have seen themselves in the story of the prodigal son. Now Jesus asks us to see ourselves once more in this story, only now he has filled it with meaning from the Course. We left our Father's kingdom to go chase dreams in the far country of this world. And though we chase those dreams with great excitement at times, they never satisfy us, do they? The reason is that we, being eternal, cannot find joy in anything except the eternal. Ironically, we often don't feel worthy of this world's treasures, the lavish mansion, the beautiful body, the inviolable fortune. Yet the fact is that they are not worthy of us. That's why they don't satisfy, and that's why they are actually worthless. We only seek them because we have forgotten our real value, the value we hold in God's eyes. We have also forgotten our real treasure, which is creating with God in heaven. Do you notice how Jesus keeps returning to this subject? Therefore, it must be important regardless of how alien it may seem to us. Think of it this way. Is there some form of creating in this world, some form of producing or being productive that you love to do? Maybe you love to cook or to achieve in business, or to raise children, or to write, or to paint. Think of something you love to do. Think of something you love producing, something that gives you real joy in the process and in the accomplishment. Now imagine that the joy you get from that is just a drop compared to the ocean of joy you get from creating in heaven. That is your real joy, the thing you literally were created to do. Earthly functions can give you no more than a tiny taste of the happiness of your real function. So here we are in this far country chasing after paper strips and metal discs. We've stored in our treasure house shining pebbles we mistook for gold, and a heap of snow that shone like silver. Nothing here can fill the hole left by our true function, and so strangely, the more we fill our treasure house, the emptier it actually feels. In both our hoarding and our emptiness, we believe we have fallen so far from our lofty beginnings. We think that we have ruined our worth. Then one day a man walks up to us and begins telling us all this. He tells us of the worthlessness of the world's treasures. Sorry, I'm chopping up words. He tells us of our real treasure of creating in heaven. And He tells us of our own real worth, which is greater than anything in this world. He tells us that just as our treasure is our creation, so God's treasure is us. You could not make yourself unworthy because you, He says, are the treasure of God. Indeed, you are His only treasure. He wants nothing else. This man works so tirelessly and sincerely to free us from the attachments of this far country that one day we finally ask him why he is so devoted to us. He responds, "I know the value God puts on you. My devotion to you is a reflection of His treasuring of you." So we follow this man along a road we didn't know was there, the road that leads back to our home, until one day we reach its end, and there God is waiting for us. We hesitate for a moment, wondering if we will face His wrath, but instead He welcomes us with open arms. This is the day He has been waiting for countless years. His treasure has at last returned to Him. As He gathers us into His embrace, we realize that our heart has always been here with Him, and we know that since we are His treasure, His heart has always been with us. You are the treasure of God. Thank you for joining with me on day 122. Section 5 of Chapter 8, The Treasure of God. I love you.